Okay, hello everybody. I'm so happy you're here and welcome to the January 20th, 2021 Release and Recharge session. I am Judi Glova, and for the past 16 years, I've been an executive coach and an expert in intuitive leadership. I'm also a facilitator of the Sedona Method, and I'm going to be leading this call. And today's topic, we're going to be focusing on compassion. There's a lot of energy, lots of new changes in the world today. And I just want to focus on compassion because so often, we have this challenge of being hard on ourselves, of having this inner critic that is constantly, nagging at us, or the feeling of the not enoughness. And whenever we judge ourselves or that we're judging others, it really just blocks the flow. It blocks our flow to having effortless outcomes. So today's topic in our group release, we're going to start off with compassion. And also a heads up, if you're new to the Sedona method, I also want to encourage you to know that I'm going to be asking you some questions. And this is just, some self-inquiry. It's like a guided meditation, and there is no efforting required. All these questions are just requests. You have the opportunity to say yes or no. And actually, it doesn't even matter whether you say yes or no. And it's just you having the opportunity to make that choice. And I also love to talk about the analogy of letting go is like making a decision, whether or not, when you're cleaning out your refrigerator, whether you want to toss something out or not. Like that truly is the choice that you have whenever you're going through a release. It's that easy. It's like, do I toss it or do I keep it? It's really that easy. So just let's get started and just allow yourself to just close your eyes, sit back, and just stop. And notice what is. And be what you are. And could you just allow yourself to think of someone or something where you already feel compassion? You're already wanting for their highest and best good. And welcome that feeling of acceptance for that person or that thing. And then in this moment, could you focus on the feeling of compassion and notice how it arises from within, like all feelings do? Could you welcome that feeling of compassion even more? Could you be present with it? Could you do that even a little more? Allow yourself to invite in or welcome fully the feeling of compassion that's within you. A feeling of compassion, of wishing others well, wishing for their highest good. And remember as we are all one, we're all connected, you are simultaneously invoking that compassion for yourself. So could you allow it even more? Allow it to fill you up and wash over you and course through you. And now think of someone you have wanted to feel more compassion for. Maybe there's someone that you've had a struggle with recently, or maybe there's a certain situation that you really wanted to feel more compassion for. Could you welcome that as best you can, just for now? And can you notice that the compassion that's already within you is rising and being sent and surrounding that situation or someone? Just by thinking of that person or that situation, compassion is now flowing towards them. You don't have to force it. It just happens spontaneously. And let's do that again. Welcome someone or something that maybe you've had a challenge with, a struggle, a disagreement, anyone or anything that you've wanted to feel more compassion for. Notice that the feeling of compassion that's already within you, without having to really even think about it, is now just flowing towards them or flowing towards it. Effortlessly and spontaneously. It is encapsulating that person, that situation, and infusing it with compassion, that desire for their highest good. And could you welcome the flow of compassion? Let it flow through you, throughout your whole body. Let it flow within you and let it flow externally towards those you'd like to feel more compassion for. And a quote that I love that is from Lester Levinson, the man who founded the Sedona method. In this quote, he said, "Happiness is equal to one's capacity to love." So again, happiness is equal to one's capacity to love. And I think we could also say that it's one's capacity to have compassion. So allow yourself to observe or welcome or allow or be present with the flow of compassion that fills you and washes over you, and to the others that appear separate from you. And now let's go a little deeper. Could you notice what does the core, or what is at the core of compassion? What is the essence of compassion? And can you notice, what does compassion arise from? What is compassion contained in? And what does compassion return to? And can you notice that pure energy of compassion? Notice that it's always within you, already within you, everywhere present as the pure love that you are. Could you just allow it to flow? Let it be. And could you allow the light and the energy of compassion light up every cell, every atom, every tissue in your body from head to toe? Could you just allow that light to fill you? And allow that light to illuminate your entire body so it shines into the room that you're in. Could you allow your room to fill with that light of compassion as best you can? And invite and allow that light to expand out of the building that you're in. Allow that light to expand out of the room that you're in and out into your town. As best you can. And it may be a stretch, but allow your light to shine in the country that you live, and allow it to surround the earth, encapsulating and protecting everyone on the planet with this divine light of compassion. And could you just let it flow and let it be? Could you rest as that compassion? And could you let that be enough? Okay, great. So I'd love to invite you to go into the chat and enter any questions, any observations, any gains, any wins, any requests for assistance. Be more than happy to assist you with any questions, even beyond our topic of compassion today, whatever is present for you. As I mentioned at the top of our call, there's so much change, so much shifting, so much energy in the planet right now. People are just experiencing so much of that. And sometimes when we turn it inward, it's that compassion that we need to give ourselves to truly lift ourselves up. So while you're putting any comments or questions or requests for assistance in the chat, I just want to remind you that you can always subscribe to my YouTube channel by hitting the subscribe button as well as the notification bell. That way you will not miss any of our release and recharge calls that we have twice a month. And when we have them twice a month, it's on the first Wednesday and the third Wednesday of every month at 11 a.m. Pacific time. And also, I want to give you a heads up just for the rest of January. I'm going to be offering special one-on-one customized releases to everyone that's interested for $97, and it'll be a half an hour session. And I look forward to working with you and helping you release. So let me go into the chat box and see if there's anything. Vitali, hi Vitali, how are you? I found for a second that compassion comes from beingness. Oh, that's
Hi.
awesome. Hi, Vitali, how are you?
Yeah, I forget how to write it correctly. Beingness.
So tell me a little bit more about the beingness. How did that come about for you?
Yeah. I don't know how to describe it. For a second, I found that when you asked where compassion comes from, or or something like that, I don't remember the question correct. And for a second, I feel so, and that all beingness. And I don't know how to describe it because for a second I feel myself as a part of beingness, and it's
Oh, that's
it
beautiful.
was
Honestly,
so yes.
Holly, yeah. I mean, actually, even the fact that you're like trying, it's hard to put it into words. I can
Yeah.
almost feel what you're trying to say. And yeah, because those questions actually evoke, and I'll just run through them just because you mentioned them. Yeah, when you're going deeper, if you ever want to go deeper into a feeling, there's some questions that you can ask, and you can ask yourself, can you notice where does the feeling, or as we said, compassion, what is at the essence or the core of compassion? What does compassion arise from? What is compassion contained in? And what does compassion return to? Those 4 or 5 questions just allow us to sink deeper and deeper into the beingness, into the oneness. And yeah, that's beautiful. I'm glad you pointed it out. And those are the questions that generally that really just expand our consciousness and awareness.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So is there anything that you need assistance with, Vitaly?
Yeah, with a self disapproval and self disapproval of self disapproval.
Oh my gosh, I so resonate with that. It's like we don't approve of ourselves, and then we judge ourselves because we don't approve of ourselves. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, yes.
Oh my gosh, we totally can do a release on that. Would you like that?
Yes, yes.
Okay, great. I'm just going to mute you and I'm going to check in when we're done, okay? Is that okay? Okay, let me just mute you now and I'll come back. Okay, so can you just allow yourself to welcome any sense of disapproval, any sense of the judgments? Notice the judgments, the conclusions that you've made about yourself or others. Can you just allow those to be present? Any sounds, any pictures, any conversations, any sensations in your body, can you just allow those to be here? And can you notice any sense of wanting to do anything with or about it? Any wanting to figure it out? Any wanting to understand it, change it, fix it? Can you notice any wanting to push it away or hold it close? And can you just notice where those judgments or conclusions that you've made about yourself, any of that disapproval, can you just notice where that is in your body? And is that judgment or disapproval, is that welcome here now? And could you just sit with it? Could you just let that disapproval or judgment that you have for yourself or others, could you just let it sit with you or even sit next to you like a good friend? I know that may sound weird, but can you just allow any sense of disapproval, self-judgment, self-doubt? Can you just allow it to be here? And would it be okay if you filled that judgment, that disapproval? Would it be okay if you just filled it with compassion, with your own approval, with love and acceptance? And can you ask yourself and notice and just look, are you that judgment or disapproval? Or are you that which is aware? And I'll ask that again. Are you that judgment or disapproval? Or are you that which is the awareness that it appears on or in? And can you let yourself notice what needs no approval or disapproval to be? Could you notice that which is beyond all approval and disapproval? And let's start from the top again. Can you allow yourself to welcome any sense of disapproval or any judgments or disapproval of disapproving of yourself? Can you just welcome whatever that brings up inside? Just allow it to be present as best you can, whatever is left over. And can you notice any wanting to do anything with or about it? Any wanting to understand it, fix it, push it away, or hold it close? And can you just observe and be present with any sense that it's personal about you or who you are? Any sense of me, mine, them, or theirs? Any sense that that disapproval or that judgment is yours? Any sense that it's your disapproval to have, or that it's a part of you? And just for now, can you let go of wanting to be the one that is disapproving or has disapproval? Can you just let that go just for now, just as best you can? And can you allow yourself to place any disapproval that you've saved for later, any judgment that you've saved for later? Can you just place it in a soap bubble? And allow that soap bubble to just float up and away and disappear whenever it wants to. And can you allow yourself to notice what is the essence or core of approval and love and acceptance? What does that approval arise from? What is that approval contained in? And what does that approval return to? And can you allow that to be enough? Can you allow yourself to just rest as the truth of who you are? Which is in harmony and acceptance and surrounded in love and freedom. Okay, great. So let me check back in with you, Vitali, and ask to unmute you. Can you unmute yourself?
Oh.
Oops, asked to unmute you. Ah, there you are.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So what's present for you now, Vitali?
It's easier. Yeah. It's much more easier. And yes, and it was a tiny, tiny border that I did not cross, but I think it's a feeling. This is a tiny border that if I cross it, everything will be solved in 1 second. In 1 moment. I don't know how to understand it. Explain it.
Yeah, it's almost like crossing, yeah, it's like crossing from being separate to having that sense of oneness, of being able to being connected to all that is. But yeah, I like how you say it. It's crossing that border of just being able to be in that acceptance.
Yes.
Mm.
Yeah, just a little more courageousness. I think I need. I don't know. Or
Yeah, courageousness, absolutely. And what you're referring to could be, part of the what we call the chart of emotions. And as we go up, from courageousness into acceptance, into harmony and freedom, we're definitely moving up. So yeah, so good for you that you're letting go of whatever was from the past, because all those judgments and things, those are all just stories that we're covering, we're carrying around that no longer serve us. So fantastic, Vitali. Is there anything else? Is there anything else that you wanted to share? Any gains that you've had? Any other insights?
um, uh, I don't know. When I place all this disapproval and soul bubble and I let it flow away and disappear. Yes, it was a great question about disapprove with feelings that I lost for a future.
Right, exactly. Because sometimes we hold on to them. It's like, oh, we're just going to hold on to that for later. Like, oh, I know it's going to come back. And sometimes when we encapsulate it in that soap bubble, you just allow it to just float away. You don't have to hold on to it forever. And we also know that all those soap bubbles, they always pop. And
Yes, yes, yes,
here.
yes, and
So
that's why I think coaches are very supportive when they can ask you a question when you don't expect. For myself, I don't expect for myself, and it do not in my conscience in this time. And coaches and you ask this question, and oh yeah, yes, yes, and
it's
there is
almost
no
like
way.
you get the exact question that you need right in the right moment, right? It's like everything just
Right.
rises for your highest good. And yeah, and that's what I wish for you for the rest of today. And yeah, that's great. Was there anything else, Vitali?
No, no, no. No,
Oh,
I maybe about the soap. It's almost disappeared, but in last second it was. I didn't say. I didn't um, release it at all. How to say? But I think it's not a problem. I will do it maybe next time.
fantastic. Yeah.
But I feel that I can. Wait, this is the most important. But now I feel that I can.
Yeah.
Because today, yesterday, and a lot of the days before months, I thought that I can do anything at all with this approval, and it's much more than me, and it's no way to solve it. But
Yeah.
now I have a courageousness that I may I may how to say solve this.
Yeah, you have the courage that
Thank
you
you.
can do it. Yeah, you have the courage that you can do it because you have experience. And
Yeah.
that's one thing I love about the Sedona method. It is something that is experiential. And once you have the experience, it does give you that opportunity to know, like, no, I know I can let go of this. Yes, I know I'm holding on to it, but it also confidence and the courage to know that even if it does, a new layer of it comes up. And that's the other point that I want to make is that I mean, self-doubt and any kind of judgments or, disapproval that we have for ourselves, it comes up sporadically and it's like layers. So when you think about even a tissue box, how there's many tissues in the tissue box, you pull one or two out and, they don't go back into the box. So you may pull out one or two or five or 10 tissues all at once in one release, but until you get to the bottom of that tissue box called disapproval, right? There may be another tissue. So just allow yourself to know that you've, succeeded in being able to release whatever level of disapproval that you had for today, and you have the ability to do it later. So yeah. And you'll have this recording too. I will edit this one and post it. I know I'm behind in about one or two editing, but I will post all of them because I really do feel that it benefits everybody. So so great. Natalie, thank you so much. I really appreciate
thank,
it.
thank you so much. Thank you.
You're welcome. Have a blessed day. Okay, and I see Fran and George. Any any comments, any questions, any assistance? You can just put it in the chat box or you can actually unmute yourself. And I know that we've gone over time a little bit today, but if there's any last requests, please let me know. And I just want to remind you that there is an opportunity that if you do want to have a one-on-one session, or if there's something personal that you want to work on, or you even have a goal that you want to work towards, and you have that goal and you want to release on all of the the judgments or the blocks that you have in being able to achieve a goal, be more than happy to work with you one-on-one. And those sessions are available, again, private one-on-one sessions, half an hour to about 45 minutes. Sometimes we run over for $97. So I'd be happy to do that. And all you have to do is reach out to me in my email, which is info@judiglova.com. And I'll also post the link. So Fran, thank you so much. Yes, thank you too. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for bringing us your energy and for being present with us today. All righty. So I look forward to seeing you in 2 weeks at our next bi-monthly call in the beginning of February, and have an amazing, blessed day. Bye for now.